Not to bring it back to like my mom's passing, but like right, so like life can change for you that fast. You know what I mean? Like I woke up and somebody I talked to maybe every day, maybe you know what I'm saying, 3 times a week, whatever, right? I'm not talking to anymore. They're not there. That's a change that I just had to like accept, right? Because you have no control over it. So the stuff that I do have control over, and when it is when life is changing and I know it's changing, I've learned to just kind of walk through that door.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sad Boy Radio. I'm your host, Matt, and today we got a very special guest. Man, he's got featured articles in Vice, got featured articles on Lyrical Lemonade's website. He's got a documentary on Red Eye Chicago. He's a member of Treated Crew and current manager of Up at 2 and Young Jasper. That's a long ass intro. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's your boy, Saint Millie? Um, yeah, man, I'm here. I'm thankful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Shit, I appreciate you coming through.
Know
We
the
were just chopping it up
vibes.
too.
Know the vibes.
But man, you got a longer intro than most people. You know, you've had so much going on in your life, and your journey's been, one that, like I said, I found so interesting, and I wanted you to come on here and talk about it because you've been from one place to the next, right? Jugrnaut, Treated Crew, you were rapping, you're a manager now, so there's a lot to unfold right there. For you, seeing these accomplishments laid out, how does it feel now?
Yeah, I really don't think about it much. I've been trying to just do more and more stuff. Like it's really dope that it's there for me. I should probably have more appreciation for it. Like as far as like I don't know, just oh man, I did accomplish these things. Like I should feel good, feel pretty great about it. But it's just like I'm so hungry for whatever the next thing is, and I'm still. I mean, I'm still the same person I was. Like life hasn't super changed for me.
You got to stay hungry because if you don't stay hungry, there's somebody else behind you ready to take your spot. And I just wanted to give you your flowers on this, right? Because you were born in Oak Park, raised on the West Side. You grew up. Your mom was incarcerated, right?
Yep. Yep.
You had a lot of these things stacked against you, and you still found a way to express yourselves through music. You found a way to create opportunities for yourself and take advantage of the opportunities. So I definitely wanted to give you your flowers to begin with.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
People are gonna find out the true story of fucking Saint Millie right now, right? Before we get started, though, I really want to ask you, what do you feel like is one of the most important lessons you've learned throughout this journey?
Even when things are high, stay low. That's my thing I would say cuz it's like, man, when it's good, it's good, right? And you feel great. You on this like high, but there's lows. You know what I'm saying? And when it's low like that, all you got are the people that really truly love you, and you find out who those people are in those moments. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say stay humble. The people you see on your way up, you're gonna see on your way down. So just stay a good person.
I think that that's one of the lessons I've really picked up recently. I think that just like you said, on the way up, you feel this high. You're like, damn, like I'm the shit. I'm good, right? And then shit just crashes. Sometimes it doesn't go your way. Sometimes you fucked up, and you got to make up for that.
Nah, for sure.
For me, I was just recently talking to my mom about failure. And when you anticipate failure, it's like, all right, I'm going to fail, and that's okay. But once you do fail, once it actually happens to you, it's like, fuck. It really does bring you down, and it makes you feel really shitty. And it takes a while to come back from that. For me, I really thought about it in the sense that, like, our event, right? I knew that it wasn't gonna make us money. I knew we weren't gonna break even because ticket sales weren't looking too hot. Weather was gonna be fucked up. There was a lot going on. And then once that night happened, once it failed, the next month and a half after that, I saw it subtly take a toll on me based on my motivation, how hard I was going, how much effort am I really putting into the content I'm putting out, how often am I putting it out. So you got to realize, like, yeah, you're going to fail, but it's the people who continue that are going to make shit happen.
I mean, just to even give you your flowers, bro, at least you fucking through that month. You know what I'm saying? You tried. Like, it's so many people that just never try. Like when you were bringing up, like, things that I've done, it's like, man, I really just did a lot of stuff trying. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't, I wouldn't, like, I'm not the greatest rapper alive or no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? I just kind of stuck to what I did best and just let it kind of guide and let it flow and just trust my energy, trust me as a person, you know what I'm saying? Like my personality and just believing in myself, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that with anything. Like if you willing to try, if you're willing to fail, if you're willing to jump out that window and just take that leap of faith, like there's nothing you can't do. Because most people will not try at all,
They'll just sit back and be like, oh, well, I wish I would have tried.
or hate or live with. They gotta live with that regret. Like that's why I really couldn't hate on nobody because I was so busy trying. Like I was working. Like I was just trying to get better, working on. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was working on my craft or working on T-shirts.
That's the crazy thing because I know you could disagree with me on what I said earlier, right? There's so many artists out there that have their hands in so many different things.
Yeah, I got an opinion, but I mean, I don't. I also understand that too, though, because like, oh shit. So it's like we love Kanye, right? Like, or people love Kanye or whatever, right? So it's like, man, like the clothes are fire and the music's great, but it's not like you know. It's not like my beautiful dark twisted fantasy Kanye. It's not, you know what I'm saying, 808s and heartbreaks Kanye or even Yeezus. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I definitely can understand that opinion of man. Sometimes people like you love them for one thing and they're focused on that other thing. But I also do think that we live in a time where like you have to create this atmosphere of hey, I have my hands in this. Hey, I have my hands in that. But it also, it's a balance.
I say you could disagree because a bunch of the stuff that I named, it's stuff that you had going on all at the same time. So it's like, for you, it worked out, right? You were able to become iconic with so many different things. Maybe you weren't the front man in all of them, but you had your hand in it and you were a crucial part to it.
I was there. Yeah, I agree.
So I think that my reasoning behind that is like, if you want to be the main man, you want to be the main person behind this shit, you got to dedicate your all to it, right? Then I think of somebody like Drake. Drake has stayed consistent with rap. I'm sure he could have gone and done acting. He didn't. Ariana Grande, when she was the face of fucking pop, she put out what, 2 albums in like a
She makes
year or
really
some
good
shit.
music though. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like her sole focus was music. She stopped acting. She went back to it now. But at that time, her sole focus, music.
I definitely believe like artists have to like find that wave of like locking in. You gotta lock in. Like if it's really what you want to do and it's what you really believe in. Whether it's if you want to be a rapper, if you want to be a singer, you know what I'm saying. You want to make a clothing line, whatever. You got to be so in the beginning. You got to be so obsessed with it to really, I feel like, see the results.
Shit, you got so many pillars too, man. You got so many things that have shaped you. Music being specifically one. You started rapping at the age of 10. That's when music really became a huge thing for you.
I was doing poetry for a while too. Um, I had this really dope mentor in high school. The change for me came in high school.
So why was rap so crucial for you?
It was my escape from what was going on in my like home life and real life. I think that's like the at the core of the legend of Saint Millie is damn, I needed this shit to express myself because I had so much going on at home and like in within myself and even like kind of at a young age, you know? Like I had to be, my mom was in jail. God rest her soul. Me and my dad, like we got a good relation. We're okay. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have the like best relationship. Didn't necessarily grow up in the house with my father. And like, I got an auntie team. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my aunties really looked out for me and kind of like every step of the way in some of like my major moments, whether it was my first fight or whatever.
What do you feel like was the most crucial thing that you needed to express through music?
Really just getting that anger and that aggression out in any way I could that wouldn't harm myself or anyone else.
Mm.
But even if it was just that pain, like if I'm not super like a crying person. I don't really necessarily cry a lot. Um so it's like, just that was my way of expressing that, joy, sad, happiness, whatever. That was my way of just kind of expressing what was going on with me.
Do you feel like this was your only escape? Was there any other way that you could have taken yourself out of this reality for even just a little bit?
It was just the one that I fell in love with.
Mm.
It was the thing that I was exposed to, and I was like, I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Music it just took over. Just the culture in general, right? Like the culture, the whole culture of it is kind of what like it took over.
Elaborate on that a little bit more.
Growing up and just kind of watching MTV, um, watching like or 106 in Park or the Basement, Rap City, like just buying magazines and like flipping through the magazines, or like we used to go to Coconuts and or Borders or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And like buy CDs and stuff like that. Like that whole vibe is what I fell in love with, and it has shaped me a little bit to be where I'm at today.
Just being in that environment is something that's like it's intoxicating a little bit.
Even like right now, like we in this studio, like I feel great.
It feels like home. Being around music, it feels like okay, this is my safe place. This is where I can truly be me. So real quick, I wanted to pull up a song, right? And it goes with the fact that this is how we express ourselves. This is who we are, and this is our safe place. OG Stevo, he just dropped Fear of God. And in the song he says, I may seem happy, but that's just an appearance. God is the one and only thing that I'm fearing. I put my heart and all my soul in these lyrics. And I love that he was able to express himself in that way because Stevo, when I first met him, when I first listened to his music, it was really hype. You weren't hearing that emotional side. And even when he came to do the interview, he talked about, music is my safe place. Whatever I can't tell somebody, I can put it in a song, and that's it. And that's what you did. You were able to say exactly how you felt, all the things that were going on in your life. And one of your songs, Monday, I'm pretty sure it was, you said, I can't say the word, but
Mm.
he get his first gun at 10 years old.
Shout out to you, bro. You actually like, you know what I'm saying? I gotta give you your flowers for that, man. I'm sorry. I know I fucked up the thing, but man, shout out to you. Like, you actually like, went and listened. And
So I heard that line and I'm like, damn, I gotta pull it because these are experiences that nobody's talking about. That's a common thing in certain neighborhoods. That's a common thing with a lot of people who they're not given opportunities. They're not handed things that other people are. And for you to find a different way, to find a different outlet, you put your soul, your heart into music and continue to push, push, push until you decided otherwise.
yeah, facts.
And you did it while working at Jugrnaut.
The name like Saint Millie, like now that you talking about it, I'm just kind of thinking back. Like I'm thinking about like us leaving the suburbs and like moving to the city and just me creating like the whole like Saint Millie thing and feeling like, man, I gotta be a positive in this negative.
Why did you feel like it was important for you to create that?
Music has this way, or just even I don't know what we do, right? Has this way of kind of just taking us away from things that are going on, or giving us that vehicle to channel what we're feeling or what we're thinking, even if they're good thoughts, even if they're bad thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a good way to like channel some of that stuff. I wrestled a lot with not necessarily having my mother there in my life like that. So I'm thinking about all these things as we're like moving, and it's just me and my auntie, and my grandparents are passed, and it's all this negative, right? How do I, one, make myself feel better, two, stay afloat, and three, figure my life out and keep my head held high? You know what I'm saying? I think all of that mixed into the birth of Saint Millie, you know what I'm saying? The artist, the manager, whatever, like the person.
So you had mentioned to me that your mom recently passed. I'm sorry to hear about that. Were you guys able to repair your relationship as you got older?
We did, and that's the thing that kind of helps me sleep when I think about it, cuz the thing about my mom passing is, and a lot of people don't know this, but she was a car hit her on the street as she was like walking or something. You know what I mean? So like I just woke up one day and like my mom was gone, right? So with that, like what helps me like kind of be at peace with a lot of things is that like I spent a lot of time with my mom before that. And I know that, you know what I'm saying, she got out, she got her a job at Jamba Juice, the guys at Jugrnaut let me get her some clothes, you know what I'm saying, the day she got out. So it's just like, you know, I we definitely were good.
What do you feel like so a lesson she instilled in you before she left?
She taught me how to hold my own. I had to go through certain things on my own, and that structures you a certain way. Like I'm not very dependent on people. Like I know, you know what I mean? That's why like even with the music or whatever, like that's why I try so hard to like do things the way that I do them. It's just because I know that I like it's me. It's all like it's on me. Fail, win, lose, draw, it's all on me.
That's what you've done, right? That's exactly what you've done. Like I said, even in the midst of making music, you took on that responsibility with Juggernaut. How do you feel like they helped you grow both professionally and personally?
10 years of learning how to run a business, the ups and downs of running a business. They have been when I was an artist, they were very supportive. Me being a manager, they've been very very supportive. So, that's forever family. They've done everything that they could for me. I feel like
Hmm.
it's beautiful, bro. I love that brand. I appreciate what they've done for Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Even being on the outside or being on the inside, just what they've brought. And just kind of that whole vibe of being an underdog, right? Like I feel like that's like, being an underdog but still being a champion at the end. I got Juggernaut tatted on my neck. Just that whole vibe, that can't stop, won't stop, that we gonna run. Once we start going, we not gonna stop. Like that vibe is really like stuck with me.
Even in previous interviews, you said at Juggernaut, we are more culture builders than tastemakers. Go ahead and talk about that.
The guys are culture builders. Even I think that's a piece of me that like I carry with me is like, there's different titles for a tastemaker, influencer, whatever, right?
But what's a culture builder?
The culture building comes when it's like taking the influencers and putting them in a room where they can chill, where they can talk, where two guys on the opposite side of the city might meet in this one space downtown and they've never talked before and they talk today, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And then there's music that comes from it, or there's opportunities for the community that comes from it, or you know what I'm saying? Like all these different things. So it's like that's really what culture building is. Like even like you throwing the show, right? You're taking these dope artists that you think are ill, you're putting them together. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they know each other, maybe they don't. Maybe they got records together, maybe they don't. But they're gonna be in the same green room for one night. And there's gonna be some vibes that come from it, and people are gonna laugh and people are gonna talk, and then other things, little seeds are planted and they grow from that. You know? So like that's really if I could say like culture building, that's really what it is like, man, it's getting the right people in the room together to do the right things. It's trying to organize and be something that everybody can unify under, no matter creed, color, whatever, race, whatever, gender, whatever, right? Like, we all love Juggernaut, so we wearing Juggernaut.
What do you think was an example that you had seen of that?
Just imagine you in this room, right? And like, man, Chance is on the left. You know what I'm saying? Vic is on the right somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, um, Sticks is there. The whole kids these days is there. Um, you know, other Chicago legends are there, right? Like Wild Style from Crucial Conflict is there. Like it's just all these different people are there, right? And they're all in one room, all different ages. Mike Terra's there, Mano's there. You know what I'm saying? Holt's there. That's the best way I can kind of like describe it, or to like even like kind of pull something out my brain to like give you. Is like, man, it's all these different people that represent Chicago being in one room, and they're all doing different things, and they're all getting along, and everyone's talking, and other seeds are being planted. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the best. I wish I could just give you like one. Man, it's so many. I just can't even. Like I've seen everybody grow before they were who they are.
Before Chance was Chance, before Vic
Man,
was
before
Vic.
Saba was Saba, before you know what I mean? Like I've seen so many stars before they blossomed into being that.
For some reason, I feel like I heard someone tell me Migos were there. Was that true?
If the Migos was, I don't think I was there that day.
I don't know where the fuck I'm pulling that from, but
Nah, I mean I done seen, but like man, I done seen Waka Flocka, I done seen Schoolboy Q, I done seen Mac Miller, like you know what I'm saying? I don't. It's so Wale, Wiz Khalifa, like I just so many, and like we talking about Wiz like Deal or No Deal Wiz.
it was a hub for music for Chicago, and that was for anybody, any artist that was coming through.
G Easy, right? It's so random, but like G Easy is like, you know, he has a different look in his earlier years than he had. So even understanding like the process of becoming such a big artist that he is today, and seeing like where he started and like passing out mixtapes and like dropping tapes off at the shop, and like it's crazy, bro. Like it's a hustle, it's a grind. It don't, you know what I mean? It don't come overnight.
Why do you feel like it was so important for you to be a culture builder and, continue to build this culture?
Cause I know the difference it can make in others' lives. I know what it felt like for me, like just for instance, like Juggernaut, right? Or the studio. I know what it felt like for me to have a place to go and sit, and it's okay for me to sit there and to just be able to talk, interact with customers, and kind of just get away from whatever, you know what I mean, I got going on. Even if I'm like I'm in college and it's like schoolwork is, you know what I'm saying? It's breaking me. But like I see these, people come and we just all get along and kick it and just kind of get away from whatever is bothering us at that time. And it's like it's laughs, it's love there, or even in the studio. You know what I mean? It's the creativeness that's there. It's that aura, that vibe.
Man, bro, it sounds like work wasn't even work for you, bro.
It really wasn't, and it's kind of crazy because I think about
You were getting paid to hang out.
I mean, I worked really hard though too. Though, don't get me wrong. Like I started at Jugrnaut, bro. I worked for like nothing, bro. Like I started like getting paid like 300 a month when I started there. I really started working for free at first just because I wanted to be down. Even now, like I even as a manager, I don't necessarily like think about or worry about, do I want to get paid? Hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to see everybody make money? Of course. Like, of course. But have I also want to make like the best shit and be a part of the dopest shit that comes out the crib or comes from different artists, or you know what I mean? Like I think that I think that Up at 2 deserves a shot. I think that Young Jasper is a superstar. And I think that people are gonna see it one day. You know what I'm saying? The same way that I've seen it when, you know what I mean? You name them. You know what I'm saying? Like the same, I've seen it. And I think that that's what fuels me a little bit more, is that I want to be able to say, like, nah, I told y'all Sad Boy Radio was gonna blow up. Like I told y'all. And y'all didn't listen. And now look at them. I want whatever that highest ranking of like, yo, if it gets on his radar
You want
and
to be the gold stamp.
he says it's a go, we gotta listen to him. Cause he sees something we don't see.
That just comes with the experience and that comes with the relationships, right? You start establishing those relationships. And like I said, bro, looking around, I could tell like you have the vision. You know what you're doing. You've had your hands in multiple things that have turned out to be successful. So you've already established that resume. You don't got to worry about that shit, right? And for you, I think about a quote. I just recently seen it, and it's talking about being a disruptor. They say that disruptors, they usually don't benefit from what they're doing. It's usually the people that come after them that are the ones that benefit from it. And it reminds me a lot of you in a sense, right? Because you did everything for music and you were a disruptor. You made noise with Treated Crew. You guys did a lot. Now it's time for the next generation.
Being a disruptor, and I think about my bro Ron Lewis, who says this all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? When we talking and he's like, man, bro, I'm a disruptor. Like, you know, we gotta shake this shit up. We gotta shake this shit up. And I feel that, because we do gotta shake this shit up. You know, it can't just be one sided. Like, um, I do think that, like, you know, even with, like, the crew, like the coolest thing about like now and today is like, man, young Mano's produced Young Jasper's album.
He produced the whole thing.
The whole thing.
I just want people to know how crazy that shit is
It's some
because
shit.
for the
I'm
people
sorry, I'm
who don't
yelling.
know Mano, right? Mano fucking he produced on
Man.
the weekend shit, The
He
Hills,
produced The
Reminder,
Hills, Reminder,
Big Sean.
All Your Fault, him and Webby, OG Webby, what up? GOAT, bro. 3,500 for Travis Scott. Like, hit after hit, banger after banger,
He's got a
cultural
Grammy.
banger. Grammys, I believe. Diamond Records. Like, the man got a fat ass plaque in his crib. He ain't even posted it yet. The bitch is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, so it's like, you know, but being able to have little bro around big bro, you know, and they're you know what I'm saying, there's a gap there, but they still like, that energy is there when they in the room. You know, tying those, putting like bridging that gap is the dopest shit for me.
I want to take it back, right? How did this relationship with Treated Crew get started?
Man, I wanted to be Treated Crew forever. My big bro Matt Boy White, we worked at Jug together, and you know, he was always crew. I would see Holt, and I would see, you know, Mano pull up to Jug, and I was around when the crowns got made. Um, so I mean, forever, bro. I wanted the crown forever. I wanted to be down forever. Like, you know, I like Mike Terra and Mano got this song called "Juke Them Hoes," and like they play that shit at like my family functions. You feel me? Like I damn near grew up on that song from like, you know what I'm saying? Like 7th, 8th grade on top. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, like the like years, but like, I've just always wanted to be down. And then me and bro's relationship just grew. You know what I'm saying? Like I would, man, we would sit in the kitchen and like cook, and I would just watch him make beats. Me and Mano's relationship, one of the coolest things is that like, bro, he didn't have to take me in or just allow me to be around and watch, but he let me be around and watch.
Why do you think he let you?
He might see some shit that I don't even see. You know what I'm saying? But he believed in Saint Millie. You know, um, and it's just I don't know. It's just man being around, being able to meet Mike Dean. You know what I'm saying? Being able to like be backstage at certain places and just like not doing too much, just sitting there, just watching, just chilling. Like I've been able to just see so much because of bro.
So now what does Treated Crew represent to you?
A new beginning, a new direction, and um, we looking out for our younger brothers too. You know what I'm saying? And just giving game to them so that they got the jewels and they got the tools they need to be the stars that they want to be.
How do you feel like they helped you elevate?
My appreciation for music a little more, for Chicago music a little more. Um Shit, even the style. Like I feel like I found my style a little more, you know what I'm saying? Being around the guys too.
Hey, so real quick, you asked me about my favorite underground artists in Chicago. Other than Young Jasper and Up at Two, who you got?
I like Velvet Villain a lot. It's a new cat coming up. He's really dope. I like OG Stevo a lot. I like 100 Flex music a lot. Lil Blessing.
Lil Blessing.
Lil Blessing go
Hey,
crazy.
real quick, I just want you to know we're talking to him.
Man, he go crazy, bro. And it's crazy because like I've seen all these people coming. Like even if they don't even know I've seen them coming. Like I just been around so many dope like managers and people that like have exposed me to so much music that you know what I'm saying I might not have heard or whatever back and forth and just sharing music like man I knew Blessing was coming. Now he
Bro.
here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well, like for the people that don't
that shit
know,
get me
right?
excited. That shit like it's seeing that type of shit that get me excited. I'm not gonna
For
lie.
the people that don't know, this man got I don't know if it's
Up.
locked in, but from what
It's
videos
up.
show, right? He's got a Travis Scott feature on the way.
It's
So
up. You just gotta believe, bro. You can't like and this what I tell, you know what I'm saying, some of my younger guys, man, bro, you just gotta believe. You gotta believe when nobody else believe. You gotta see it when nobody else see it. And just lock in on it. And it's right there. And it can happen, you know?
but man, just like you said, even at your highest of highs, right? With Treated Crew, you guys had Justin Bieber and Kanye West wearing the hat.
Mano is just such a just interesting character because like we can talk about him in this room, but you're not really gonna know until he walk in the room. You know, he's kind of like able to be a ninja that you know what I'm saying bounces between like the Matrix and like our world. You know what I'm saying? Like so man, Big Bro's been around greats and legends, and they know the vibes.
But like I was saying, right? Even at your highest of highs, for you, you maintain that job at Juggernaut. In a quote, you talk about, these artists see me vacuuming this store. I can have a whole documentary made about me, but at the end of the day, I still got to go back to this. And you specifically said it gives me the struggle that comes out in my music. I'm not even sure if I'm ready to leave that struggle fully behind. And I felt that one because it's like once you evolve, once you move past the initial inspiration to your creativity, it's like, where do I go? Now I got to find something new that inspires me. And it might not relate to the people that I was connecting with. That was my issue when I first started this shit, right? It took me who knows how long to evolve to the next step. and not feel like, damn, I'm just completely abandoning what I started.
Even now, right? Like I'm starting kind of all over again. Like with me and Jug kind of parting ways, and I'm like new. You know what I'm saying? Like now I gotta be the person that I really say I am. I gotta step on the thing. I'm taking that leap of faith, right? That thing that I was scared, that quote, that young man was scared to fly. Now I'm flying. So it's like, I just gotta really, it's all new. I'm in a whole new space right now.
How do you feel like you've managed this transition from creating music to managing artists who make music?
I just care.
But not so much as the worker, but mentally, how have you managed this transition? Because, like I said, right, you're leaving you're leaving what you know behind. You're losing a part of you in a sense, and now I have to stay focused on these new artists and give them my all while losing a part of me. How have you managed that mentally?
Not to bring it back to like my mom's passing, but like right, so like life can change for you that fast. You know what I mean? Like I woke up and somebody I talked to maybe every day, maybe you know what I'm saying, 3 times a week, whatever, right? I'm not talking to anymore. They're not there. So like that that's a change that I just had to like accept, right? Cuz you have no control over it. So the stuff that I do have control over, and when life is changing and I know it's changing, I've learned to just kind of walk through that door, right? And not be so afraid of the change. Um, this shit gonna consistently change. You gonna go up. You're gonna have days where you up. You're gonna have days where you down. Mentally, you gonna be there. Mentally, you not. Um, but you got to keep pushing.
Changes are consistent. They're always going to happen. They're always going to happen in your life no matter what. And that's why I named this episode That's Life. I specifically saw your song. I'm like, that's life, right? And that shit that just goes on. Like you asked me earlier, why did I create Sad Boy Radio? I just had so much shit going on in my life that I'm like, okay, let me start to lay it out. Let me express myself in the only way I know how, and that's through words. But I love music, so let's connect it to music. How do we do that? Take specific lyrics like I did with Stevo, right? I lay my heart and soul out in these lyrics. And that's all you gotta do. You gotta be honest with yourself and you gotta be honest with the people around you because nobody can help you except you. And nobody's gonna understand you unless you express yourself.
Gotta keep trying, keep shooting.
How is working with Young Jasper and Up at 2 giving you a redefined purpose in life?
I never thought I was gonna be a manager. Even when I was done with music, it was like I'm done with music. Like I'm good. I want to do some other shit. I want to get money. I want to, you know what I mean? I'm getting older. Um, but when I met Jasper, we was shooting a video. He was shooting a video, and I did at Jugrnaut. I didn't know nothing about it. It's the pressure video. This is the first day I met Jasper. He's shooting this video. He got his camera guy sitting in the shop. Shorty pull up. He's got like people waiting for him. Like there's people waiting for him in the store. Like multiple groups of people waiting for him. I'm like, man, I'm like, oh, what y'all waiting for? Well, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like, oh, Young Jasper shooting a video. I'm like, who the fuck is Young Jasper? You know what I'm saying? He come in. I'm like, man, you want to shoot a video? Ooh, like, man, did you call anybody? Did you tell anybody? Like, nah. I'm like, oh, man, I don't even know your song. Play me some music, right? And he plays me this record, bro. Menticide. It damn near reminded me of some shit I might have made him. It's just got this vibe, bro. It also reminds me of like this Kid Cudi feel, like when you first hear like Day and Night or some shit like that. And man, I love that record so much. And I said, man, you don't got no manager. Like what you got going on? What you doing? And the rest is history. And that's how I became a manager. Up at 2, which is formerly 2 a.m. I knew about him in 2016 when I was making music. I had sent him a message on SoundCloud like, man, your shit's dope. We gotta work. You know what I'm saying? Fast forward, I you know I we never worked, whatever. Fast forward, you know how rappers be and shit. Fast forward, there's a listening event or there's a party. I don't know, bro. Pull up. He like, hey man, I'm too, and now I'm already on the man. Like, okay, I'm managing Young Jasper. We going and man, bro, the rest is history. Two pulled up on me that day. I said, man, bro, let's figure it out. You know, I'm not really, my whole approach to it being a manager is that I'm not a manager, right? So, like, hey, I'm not really a manager, right? I'm somebody that know a little something. I done been around and I got good people behind me that will support and believe in what I got going on.
So real quick, I I mean, I don't think you got an answer out there, but what made you leave music behind?
My last day with music, um, I had just got into it with whoever, like, I don't know, whoever my like management was at the time or whatever. Like, oh, you got to go to the studio. You got to go to the studio. Ooh. Like, I haven't been feeling it, whatever. So the day I finally go to the studio is the day that my mom passes. And I'm fucked up in this studio. Like, I'm like numb as shit. I'm not like emotional. Like, you can't really see it, but I'm numb as shit in this studio session. Like, I'm completely not there. Spent my money, everything, and I'm just not there. And that was the last day I felt like when I was rapping, bro, I wanted to buy my mama a house. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when I knew, like, yeah, like I did it. And so I think when that dream kind of like faded away, I think I don't know, just part of me just left, and I was okay with it.
You feel like you lost the motivation?
Not even just the motivation. I think it's just like, man, I've given so much of myself to this shit, and I just really wasn't happy with.
Do you feel like there's a resent towards the music now?
There's definitely a little resentment there, probably, and just growth though. I'm not gonna like deny the fact that like I kind of had to let go to let other things in. Like I was so focused on my career and who I was and all this extra shit that I was kind of like blocking a lot of things out that I needed to let in. So I had to make room and something had to go and I was okay with it.
So my last question, man, is how has this journey shaped the Saint Millie we see today?
Wiser, smarter, more calculated, and a lot braver.
Well, shit, man. I appreciate the energy. I appreciate you sharing your story with us, and I think it was a really dope conversation, man.
Thank you, bro. I hope we got some good shit in here.
That's all for today. Make sure you guys go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check out Young Jasper and Up at 2. I'll drop their shit below because Up at 2 is hard as fuck to find.
Young Jasper Nuisance on the way. Up at 2 Wild now. I don't know when y'all gonna see this, but hey.
Sad Boys for real. Peace out.
This is Sad Boy Radio.
Broken pieces, who's to blame?